Welcome back to another episode of Food Rules. This is episode 8, but this is a 4-part series on mastication, and this is the 2 of 4. So let's get started. First of all, I want to tell you how important this is to me. Mastication and chewing is so important. It is the beginning of a digestive process. If you skip that, there are going to be consequences to it, which I will talk about in a little bit. So what I want to do, a couple of reminders, is Mr. Horace Fletcher, the great masticator, right? He's the one that said chew at least 32 times depending on the consistency of your food, and up to 50 if you're eating meat. So are you chewing your food 32 to 50 times? I highly doubt it. I actually have taken the challenge on this last week, and I am chewing my food when I'm being mindful. I still have to remind myself 32 to 50 times, because we want to create that bolus in our mouth so that we can actually start digesting the food right here in our mouth. We're not digesting it here down in our gut or in our intestines. We are digesting it to start in our mouth. So today we're going to talk about digestion. Last week we talked about swallowing and chewing specifically. I want to talk about a couple different enzymes, a couple different digestive enzymes that help you digest your food. The first enzyme that is going to be produced is when you're actually chewing the food in your mouth, which is amylase. And that actually helps you digest carbohydrates, right? We want to be able to do that. Everybody's so worried about eating carbs all the time. So let's chew our food so we can actually digest it properly. Then we want to increase the speed of our food being digested. And how are we going to do that? Because we're chewing our food, right? We're doing what we're supposed to do. We are actually slowing down the intensity of us eating and getting it to our stomachs. And we're chewing our food. We're being mindful. My recommendation is not doing multitasking while you're eating. We should not be working at our desk, which I'm very guilty of, working at our desk and eating and just shoveling it into our mouth. The goal is to eat at your dining room table or at your bar, so that you can be focusing on eating and maybe having a conversation with a loved one. The other digestive enzyme I want to talk about is peptin. Peptin actually helps you digest protein, and that starts happening when you start mixing your food as you swallow into your stomach, which creates the stomach acid, which is called chyme, which then goes into the small intestine. So we want to make sure that we're utilizing those digestive enzymes. They're super important. What is going to happen if we don't, right? We're going to get an upset stomach, right? We might have acid reflux. We might have constipation, diarrhea. We might have irritability even. We also that can contribute to an excess of bacteria in your stomach. And so I am a person who has an overgrowth of bacteria in my stomach. I take probiotics, I use digestive enzymes and things to combat that. But if this is another level of combating having excess overgrowth of bacteria in your stomach, in your gut, in your biome, then I'm going to definitely do this. This is a free option, right? So why wouldn't everybody start with it? Some of the other elements are cramps, nausea, headaches, skin problems, weight gain. This can contribute to weight gain. I know that's super important for a lot of people. So let's start masticating our food. It is the first defense in our digestive process. It helps us, and I'll talk about it later, absorbing nutrients and promotes the feeling of fullness. So next week I'm going to talk about nutrient absorption, and then the final week we'll talk about fullness. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about this. I hope you watched it. Please reach out if you have any questions, and let's take our mastication to the next level.